moment I'm annoyed, and I also told the players, if you want to win trophies, titles, we have to change our mentality because it's not possible.
Manchester United boss Erik has 3 players who need dropping after Arsenal loss. Manchester United remain a work in progress. Talk of the Premier League title was always premature, and now a 3-2 defeat to Arsenal on Sunday has all but ended their hopes of being crowned champions. As Gunners fans on social media have been saying, it's time to trust the process. Manchester United had gone into their match with Arsenal aiming to bounce back after slipping to a 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace on Wednesday night. However, Arsenal were able to claim all 3 points with Bukayo Saka and Eddie Nketiah on target. After the game, Ten Hag confirmed he wasn't impressed by United's failure to keep their opponents out. While Marcus Rashford and Lisandro Martinez were 2 positives to take from the contest, not everybody in a white shirt was good enough on the day. And with United now failing to win their last 2 matches, Man United Hub now takes a look at 3 players who need dropping in the wake of the showdown. Antony. United have seen Antony produce some good moments in the short time since his huge £86 million move from Ajax back in the summer transfer window. Certainly, his debut goal against Arsenal and strikes in both matches against Everton were great to see. Antony is, however, infuriating to watch. He spends too much time producing skills and flicks for the YouTube generation, and while there's nothing wrong with a bit of flair, his decision-making simply isn't good enough. United have Alejandro Garncho on the bench at present, and while the Argentine is young at 18, he's already well ahead of his teammate when it comes to footballing maturity. Garncho for Antony is one change Ten Hag must consider making as he looks to make sure United finish in the Champions League qualifying positions. Wout Wegorst was always going to be a divisive signing, and though he brings an aerial threat to United's attack, something they've not really had in the years since Romelu Lukaku's departure, he also seems to slow them down. United have been at their best this season when playing with speedsters in their front 3. Wegorst, by comparison, is more of a target man. His signing in the first place was peculiar. United did consider Memphis to pay only for the Netherlands international's demand of a big contract to scupper any potential return to Old Trafford. Wegorst should be an impact sub, but not a starter. If Scott McTominay wasn't good or bad against Arsenal, he was average, doing precious little of note but precious little wrong as well. Yet United can't win trophies with a player like the Scotland international, and with Casemiro's suspension now over, he obviously has to come back, and McTominay is a useful squad player. But Casemiro is levels above the Samba star was tipped to flop following his move from Real Madrid, but he's been a substantial hit. Instead, the Red Devils missed the Brazil international on Sunday with soldiers like Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka standing tall for Arsenal when Casemiro is back on the field. However, United will be all the better for it. In other news, Scott McTominay wasn't good or bad against Arsenal. He was average, doing precious little of note, but precious little wrong as well. Yet United can't win trophies with a player like the Scotland international, and with Casemiro's suspension now over, he obviously has to come back in. McTominay is a useful squad player, but Casemiro is levels above. The Samba star was tipped to flop following his move from Real Madrid, but he's been a substantial hit instead. The Red Devils missed the Brazil international on Sunday with soldiers like Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka standing tall for Arsenal. When Casemiro is back on the field, however, United will be all the better for it. In other news, Man United manager Erik Ten Hag explains why he didn't send on Alejandro Garncho earlier versus Arsenal. Erik Ten Hag admits Manchester United still have limited attacking options after their first Premier League defeat since November at Arsenal. Ten Hag decided against an attacking change, with United clinging onto a 2-2 draw at Arsenal, whose pressure eventually told as Eddie Nketiah claimed a 90th minute winner. Alejandro Garncho has been regularly introduced from the bench by Ten Hag, but he was reluctant to adjust United's lineup after Fred replaced Antony in the 71st minute, and only brought him on after Arsenal had scored the winner. United signed Wout Wegorst on loan from Burnley earlier this month, but striker Anthony Martial has missed the last 2 games with a muscular injury. It was the best setup to win this game, Ten Hag stressed. And of course, we had some considerations to bring players in, especially Garncho can have an impact. But we need a good press. We conceded 2 already from a corner, short corners, but a lot of crosses there. And so I think Wout did a really good job there in the pressing and in the heading on set plays. So Rashi, you don't want to take him off. With Bruno already, we make a tactical, and I think almost it came out. A really good position from him and pass to Rashford in the back of the defending line, and the moment between the defending line and the keeper, so we had our moments there, and we also missed some players. Also on the bench, you are limited offensively, we know that. United lost for the first time in the Premier League since November 6th without Casemiro, who had started in their previous 12 league fixtures. Ten Hag refused to cite the Brazilian's absence in his analysis. There were also other players not available, and we can talk about them. He is obviously a very good player for us, an important player, but I don't want to talk about players who are not available. Today we formed a good team. We were a good team on the pitch. We were leading and then starting to make such mistakes. It is about that. We could have won this game. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe to Man United Hub to get all the latest updates.